Candymonium is the newest coaster coming to HersheyPark and will be the flagship attraction of the $150 million Hershey's Chocolatetown expansion. This ride will be a hypercoaster built by Bolliger and Mabillard, and many coaster enthusiasts are very hyped for Candymonium and also believe that Candymonium will be one of the best B&M Hypers ever built and potentially may even be the best coaster at HersheyPark. So for today's video, I will give my thoughts on various aspects of Candymonium, and I will provide you with all the information you will want to know heading into Candymonium and Hershey's Chocolatetown, and I of course will also give my analysis of Candymonium's layout. With all of that said, let's begin. Before I get to Candymonium, since there is an entire area and expansion around the ride that is also coming to the park, I will begin by discussing the different aspects of Hershey's Chocolatetown. Hershey's Chocolatetown is a $150 million 23-acre expansion area that will include a new entrance area and plaza that looks very nice and should be more efficient for letting guests in. Hershey's Chocolatetown will also have some new dining locations, shops, and attractions, and most of these should be ready to open for opening day. For attractions, Hershey's Chocolatetown will feature two non-ride attractions, with one of them being Kiss's Fountain, which is a water fountain in the shape of a Hershey Kiss, which will be a cool and nice looking park landmark that will provide a neat photo opportunity. The other non-ride attraction is Hyperdeck, which is a new immersive virtual reality experience where multiple players are in a room and are transported into a virtual world and experience multi-sensory effects such as strong winds, heat, and the ground shaking as the room utilizes a full motion floor. Hyperdeck will probably not open immediately with HersheyPark given the current situation, but the delayed opening for Hyperdeck has not been confirmed so far. As for the two rides that will be in Hershey's Chocolatetown, they are Candymonium, which I mentioned earlier, and the classic 101-year-old HersheyPark Carousel that has been relocated to Chocolatetown. The four new shops in Hershey's Chocolatetown are Hershey's Supply Co., which will be the largest store at HersheyPark and will sell HersheyPark merch year-round, as visitors will be able to enter this store inside and outside of the park. HersheyPark Collections, which will be a fashion, lifestyle, and home store, the Candymonium store that will have Candymonium merch and candy, and the Hyperdeck store that will feature Hyperdeck merch. Once again, I cannot guarantee that all of these places will be open on opening day, but I think at least some of these shops will be open. For Chocolatetown eateries, there will be 3 places that will be open year-round that will allow visitors to access them from both inside and outside of HersheyPark. However, due to the current situation, it is confirmed that these 3 places will not open with the park. But I still think it is worth talking about these eateries so you know what to expect when they open. One of the eateries is called the CHOCOLATIER, which is a really cool looking restaurant that will be the largest sit-down restaurant in the park and will have pieces of past and present rides on display, and this place sounds and looks absolutely amazing. Another one of the eateries is the Sweetery, which will be a confectionery kitchen that will have more than 50 different sweets to choose from, and visitors at the Sweetery can actually watch the confectioners create the sweets, which is also really cool. The last of these 3 year-round eateries is Milton's Ice Cream Parlor, which is a vintage-style ice cream parlor that will serve sundaes and milkshakes, and this place sounds like it will provide some absolutely delicious desserts. The other 4 eateries that are located inside the park in Hershey's Chocolatetown are Chocolatetown Treats, which will have sweets, Starbucks, which will be the first ever Starbucks location at HersheyPark, Dippin' Dots, which will be the newest Dippin' Dots location at the park, and the largest kettle corn location in the park, which will of course sell kettle corn. From what I have heard, those 4 eateries should be open on opening day, but don't be too surprised if that is not the case. So to finish my thoughts on Hershey's Chocolatetown, I believe this new area will be awesome, and some of the new food locations look absolutely amazing, and it really is a shame that many coaster enthusiasts have been ignoring this new area as a whole since Candymonium's announcement, which is why I decided to dedicate a portion of this video toward giving you, the viewers, information on this fantastic looking new area, as there really is a lot more to the Hershey's Chocolatetown expansion than just Candymonium. Now I'll go into Candymonium, which, as I mentioned earlier, is going to be a B&M Hyper coaster that will be HersheyPark's 14th roller coaster, and also the park's second hyper coaster, since Skyrush was the first, as it stands at a height of 200 feet. Because of this, many coaster enthusiasts don't believe that Candymonium is a good fit at Hershey, but Skyrush was designed to be more of a crazy intense ejector airtime machine, where Candymonium is much more of a crowd pleaser, as it will provide a much less intense, more comfortable ride with some great floater and lifter airtime. So since Candymonium will provide a very different ride experience from Skyrush and the rest of the coasters at HersheyPark, I believe that Candymonium is actually a perfect fit for HersheyPark. When it comes to stats, Candymonium features a maximum height of 210 feet, a track length of 4,636 feet, and a top speed of 76 miles per hour, which makes this ride the tallest, longest, and fastest coaster at HersheyPark. Candymonium will also feature a minimum height requirement of 54 inches, which is normal for B&M Hypers. When it comes to the ride's color scheme, Candymonium has brown track that to me makes the track look like a huge chocolate bar, which is awesome, so I'm definitely a fan of that track color. Unfortunately, I am much less of a fan of that silverish color they went with Candymonium supports, because to me, it just looks so bland. It just ruins the ride's color scheme for me, because this ride, it is named Candymonium. I feel like they could have gotten a bit more crazy and unique with the support colors just because of that name, but instead they went with this pretty bland silver color, and to me, it just kind of ruins the whole thing for me. I actually have an idea of what I would have liked to see when it came to the support colors, so hear me out on this. What if for Candymonium, they made the ride supports red because of Twizzlers? I think that would be pretty awesome, and it would fit in a lot better with the Candymonium name and Hershey brand. But what if Hershey took it a step further and somehow was able to make the supports look like they have the licorice twist? Now that would be absolutely amazing, and it would improve the ride's presentation drastically to me, and I imagine it would also probably be really cool to some of you as well. It is fun and unique ideas like this that make me really disappointed with the color scheme we got with Candymonium. Now for ride vehicles, Candymonium will run 3 trains that each seat 28 people. Each train is themed to a Hershey product, with the blue and silver train being the Hershey's Kiss train, the orange and yellow train being the Reese's train, and the blue and red train being the Twizzlers train. Now, I like the colors of all 3 of these, and I think the trains look good, but I actually would have liked it even more if the trains had a logo or a picture of the product that correlates with each train on the front, because in my opinion, the front of the trains just look and feel a bit empty. The trains still look pretty nice though, and I do like that they are tying back to the overall candy theme and Hershey brand with the 3 different trains. Candymonium will also feature the B&M clamshell restraints that aren't too restrictive, and these restraints are said to be very comfortable, which is definitely something that should make coaster enthusiasts and HersheyPark regulars very happy. As for the ride's theme, Candymonium will just be lightly themed to candy and the Hershey brand, and you can see this with the Candymonium logo, the brown colored track that I see as a massive candy bar, and the trains that I mentioned earlier. Now, before I go into my analysis of Candymonium's layout, I will tell you right now that I will be using the term lifter airtime a lot, which is basically another way of saying flowjector airtime, and is the airtime strength that is stronger than floater, but weaker than ejector. So with that said, let's begin. To start off the ride, you will exit the station and ascend the 210-foot tall lift hill. Once you reach the top, you will go down this amazing first drop that should make you feel like you are falling for a long time and should provide some great sustained floater or maybe even lifter airtime. You will then reach the bottom of the first drop, reaching your maximum speed, and you will go into this huge camelback hill that will feature some nice floater or maybe even lifter airtime. You will then drop down and head into this crazy, nearly inverted turnaround with a lot of speed, which will give you a great sensation of speed and may even provide some positive forces. You will then head into a trimmed airtime hill, which will slow the ride down a little bit, but you should still get some nice lifter airtime going over this hill. This will be followed by a speed hill that I believe will provide the strongest moment of airtime on Candymonium and could provide ejector airtime, but at worst it should still provide some great lifter airtime. Following that, you will go into this upward helix that hopefully should be a bit intense, and then you will enter this RMC-like sideways airtime hill that should provide great airtime and will be an element that makes Candymonium stand out from the other B&M Hypers. You will then head into another trimmed airtime hill that should provide a nice bit of lifter airtime, but because of the trims, I believe that the pacing may die after this element, and because of that, the following scenic turnaround, circling the Kisses Fountain, probably won't be too intense, and will be more of a relaxing but neat element and should make for a great off-ride spectacle. After the turnaround, you will go through two small final airtime pops that will lead into the first brake run. Following that brake run, you will enter a turn to the right where you will be pretty close to Skyrush and Comet and should get a nice view of those rides. Then you will reach the final brake run, which will lead you back into the station where your ride will come to an end. So overall, I think that Candymonium will provide some amazing airtime and has a great looking layout that is one of the best when it comes to B&M Hypers, and the pacing at the beginning also looks incredible. I also don't believe that Candymonium's first trim will absolutely destroy the ride's pacing after the beginning, so I can definitely see this ride being one of the best B&M Hypers out there, and one of the best rides at HersheyPark in and all of Pennsylvania. So with that said, I am very excited to eventually experience Candymonium, as it looks like it will be one of B&M's greatest creations, and of course I am also looking forward to experiencing Hershey's Chocolate Town as a whole, as this new area looks absolutely fantastic. What are your thoughts on Candymonium and Hershey's Chocolate Town, and if you watched this video after you have been to Chocolate Town, what did you think of Candymonium and the area itself? Make sure to let me know in the comments down below, and also make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you haven't already, and also make sure to follow me on Instagram at CoasterHour, as I have a link to it in the description. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time here on Coaster Hour.